Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games from the Game Pass collection, bringing you three unique perspectives from varying skill range. I am the guardian of this grove, Andrew. With me, our juicy grape, our returning guest, my brother, Aaron.
Hey. And
with us, of course, our maraschino cherry, Liz.
Hey, guys.
And this week, we played Garden Story.
Did you have to look that up? I feel like you had to look that one up.
I couldn't remember if it was The Garden Story or A Garden Story. It's just Garden Story.
You couldn't remember if this was Mass Effect or The Garden Story. I could see why you'd be confused.
But Garden Story is brought to you by Picogram, if I said that correctly. And Garden Story is a top-down action adventure role-playing game where you are playing a fresh young grape named Concord who has been chosen to help save the grove. You graduate from the kindergarten and have to essentially pick up the mantle of the guardian and try to save the citizens of this ancient dying tree. Going around though, Liz, was this a game or a pass for you?
It was a game for me. I kind of thought it was a little bit slow. There's something about it that I just kind of wanted it to pick up a little bit. But overall, I really liked it. And we had a busy week, so I didn't get to put as many hours as I'd like to because it was kind of addicting. And I kind of wish I had the time to beat the game.
What about you, Aaron?
Again, thank you for having me as a guest this week. I really appreciate it. I don't take this lightly. I take this with great honor. And so I'm going to crap all over that and say, this game was awful. I hated it. This is a hard pass for me.
Really?
I can't tell if you're joking.
I'm not joking. I am not joking.
Wait, you struggled with Stardew.
Oh. Thank you. Yes, I was eventually going to get to that point.
Oh, sorry. Spoiler.
I wasn't gonna add any nuance to this, but I will add a little nuance. This game is just not for me. Just period. It's not my type of game. And I'm glad that you mentioned Stardew because I was gonna make a comparison to Stardew and why Stardew was frustrating to me. A lot of the similarities here as to why this was frustrating for me as well. So it's a hard pass for me.
Ooh.
Okay. So for me, this was a game for me. Actually, I was getting close to actually making this a definite game. I had a lot of fun with Garden Story. It's very reminiscent of old school Zelda games where you just kind of start off something simple and small and kind of progressively go on. I will say the name to me was very confusing because when I first saw this, I was like, oh, is this like Stardew Valley? Stardew Valley, are you playing, this fruit and you're creating a farm? Not really. There is some gardening going on, but what I loved about this game was that it started off very slow. I do agree with you, Liz. I think this game starts off very slow, but it literally keeps throwing in these new mechanics here and there, and it was just growing and more for me, and I was actually having a ton of fun with this game.
Did you have low expectations? Because I feel like talking to you earlier, you seemed surprised. And
I had very low expectations.
Yeah, and you were gushing about the game, so I feel like because you went into it with low expectations, that maybe that's why
the first 15 minutes, I didn't want to play this game. I started playing. I'm like, this is boring. I was like, I'm good. Because also too, I didn't have much expectations too, because the download size of this game is not even a gig big. It looks like it's tiny, but this game's 10 hours to beat. And this game originally was on the Nintendo Switch and it's gotten high praise from Nintendo Switch. Apparently not from Aaron, but,
man, you're hitting on some of my future points here, but,
okay.
I had low expectations, and this absolutely met those expectations with flying colors. And it's not to say again that this is a bad game. I'm sure, again, I'm not surprised that Andrew would fall on literally the polar opposite of this spectrum. But it started out slow, and I think it remained slow the entire time I played it. I can't think of any action-packed moment of that. I spent so much time inventory managing for nonsense. If I have to pick up another twig, all right, my favorite part of this game was...
Were you depositing the stuff?
Yes, but it's just
okay.
My favorite part of this was the fishing. So at some point, if we could talk about gameplay, I'd love to talk about the fishing.
Okay. Well, what about the story? Did the story hook you at all? Like I said, it started off, it talks about how, you lived on this mana tree that essentially would give magic to the garden, but it got chopped down and you are still living on a grove on this tree. But things aren't quite going right. There's this plague going around called the rot that essentially these ooze creatures that are consuming everything they touch. And so you take it upon yourselves. You're trying to help save the grove because the people before you who used to be in charge of taking care of the grove, the guardians, have all essentially disappeared and they're kind of a dying breed. So you are chosen as the guardian of the Spring Hamlet Grove. And it's your job to kind of save everyone and unite what's remaining of the tree. Did the story hook you at all, Aaron?
No, it's not bad. I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's simplistic. It's very, very simple. And to me,
it is.
That's kind of the overall theme of this game. And I think, again, why there was never an element of it that got me super hooked was because the story was pretty simple. The gameplay itself is very simple. And in fact, I feel like deliberately slow and giving you reasons to take it slow. Characters are all simple, easy to look at. It's like I said, it's not even a 1 gig game. So there's not a lot going on here. So story-wise, again, it really didn't do much for me. You're a cute little grape. So I guess that's
named Concord, which I love.
Which is pretty great. And you got a plum friend, which is kind of fun.
It's pretty grape.
But in general, the story itself, I feel like haven't we seen 100 versions of this? So it's fine.
So the story to me actually, yes, it is very simple starting off, but I actually felt like it was starting to get some layers. I didn't beat the game, but I looked at the ending, and I think the ending's actually kind of interesting.
See, I kind of disagree with what you said earlier about, he took it upon himself. He didn't. He was in kindergarten, and they took him out because people were being lazy and stupid. And what really bothered me, so at first he does it because the original guardian needed to go somewhere. But you get to Autumn Town, and these lazy big fruits, whatever they are, they start making fun of you because you're small. And it turns out that the entire time they keep purposefully breaking the sickle that they need to progress the town. They're breaking it on purpose. And so somebody gives it back to you after you send it for repairs. And they're like, no, you can keep it because we're just going to keep breaking it. They would rather the town be completely destroyed than clean up after themselves, help themselves. At what point do you just say, you guys don't deserve my help? I know that the towns are interconnected, so, with trade routes or whatever, but at some point you have to help yourself. And so for me, it kind of really irritated me.
You're telling me in real life, this was you. You would eventually just say, I give up.
No, but I would at least say oh, you're going to make fun of me for being small, but you're sitting on your butt purposefully letting the town rot. You're actually hurting the town. They're the ones that were responsible.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're breaking the equipment that they need in order to salvage a town. So for me, I wouldn't do it for them, but I'd make sure to put them in their place instead of just being all smiling and being oh, I'm going to go do everything. It's just so for me, I actually disliked the characters. I was like, these people don't deserve help.
You didn't like any of them? Not even Maraschino?
No, those two in particular.
Oh, okay.
But all the people along the way that are sassing you and you're the only one working. If you go to the beach, you can go fishing. Why do I have to fish for you, you lazy turds? You live at the beach. You do it. Let me fight the bad guys that you're too afraid to fight, but why should I have to do your fishing for you too?
I always think it's funny that you complain about a video game. Obviously it wouldn't be much of a video game if people were doing things.
But they're so sassy about it. Don't ask for my help and be rude. And then, and so for me, it just it didn't make sense. The gameplay didn't make sense to me where it's they could be doing this.
What I love about this, Liz, is you clearly, you did a much better job at this than I did. Where you got into the story and actually, kind of tried to connect some pieces and make some sense of it. Me, I was just this, you start eventually just rushing through the text just because it's hey, I'm hearing a bunch of people whine about things and it's none of this stuff is catching me. So you're just kind of going through it quick. I like that you've actually put some thought and some energy into thinking about this. Because to me, I was just this is fine. And I'm waiting for the story to do something. It didn't do anything. And I didn't really think much beyond that. Well, we should put an added note here, though, before you get any angry tweets sent to the Game Pass Grab Bag Twitter. When we are saying lazy fruits, we are not using a derogatory term towards any type of people. They are literal fruits in this game. So I just want to be clear. We're going to say fruits a lot, and we're going to yell at the fruits. Just to be clear, this was not meant in derogatory terms. This is simply mentioning the fruit in the game.
So I'd like to apologize because Andrew cut that out, but I didn't realize that was a term.
What?
So thank you for educating me.
If he's going to cut it out, you don't mention it again.
But you're gonna keep it in earlier that I called them fruits, right?
Well, yeah, but then you get but I cleared it up for you.
And then you did. So I
Wait,
was
so
just
should I get rid of
apologizing
your
and
part of
saying
her?
thank you for educating me because I thought you were just being funny.
No,
I was
that's-
like, why is?
No.
I thought you were being funny.
I mean, I was being funny. I was making a joke because you said the lazy fruits. And so I was like, I should add a disclaimer here that we're going to talk a lot about fruits and that specifically we're talking about the fruits of the game.
I also think too with the game, with the story, they were always like, oh, we're used to being disappointed and stuff. And it's like, you should be disappointed in yourselves. Like, it's you guys. You're the problem.
You should hate
like, I thought
yourselves. Idiots.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, like you didn't do this, so the town doesn't have enough water or whatever. And it's like, well, I'm one person and there's a bunch of people, so.
You're like a really exceptionally tiny grape in this game.
Yeah.
Like everybody is
I'm
way
doing
bigger than
all
you.
the heavy lifting, yeah.
Not maraschino cherry. He's smaller than you.
Yeah, but is he slaying beasts?
Actually, yes, he kills the ooze around your farm at night.
Wow.
Oh, Maraschino is the one that guards the beach?
No. He's the one who guards your house, the bend.
No, the person who guards your house is the woman at the beach that guards the beach.
Yeah, that's maraschino.
Oh, I don't think she's very small.
Is Maraschino a
She's
woman?
bigger.
I don't know.
Now Liz is sending me down a path. Now I'm like, wait, was Maraschino a woman the whole time? If that's the case,
I don't know.
this changes everything.
I think maybe I thought it was a woman because I love maraschino cherries and I'm a woman. Maybe that's just where my mind went.
That is true.
I don't
Maraschino
remember.
cherries are kind of feminine. If you really think about it, it's like that.
Which is odd because I love them too. I mean,
They're delicious. Come on, I could crush a whole jar of those things.
We have some in the fridge.
Do you
They're
just
so good.
do you just eat some maraschino cherries sometimes?
No, I got Andrew like this cocktail making kit, and some of them had like the garnish.
Making,
And we were like, let's be fancy
tequila
tonight.
sunrises.
Yeah.
You put it in there.
And you put a maraschino
And
cherry
I
in
don't-
it.
Yeah.
I don't know how there's still maraschino cherries in the fridge, though. I think we forgot about them.
That's always what happens. You buy maraschino
Yeah.
cherries for one specific reason, like you're making sundaes or something like that, and then you never remember them, and they sit in there for 5 years until 5 years later when you decide to clean out your fridge, and then you got a whole. All you're missing is like 5 maraschino cherries.
For me, it leaked
But
in
they're
the
still
fridge.
good, though.
That's why
They
I just
are.
remembered it the other day. I was like, oh, it leaked in the fridge. But I remember growing up during Thanksgiving, we would have like different like, little sides for the kids. So like one of them was like black olives or like cream cheese and celery. And then my mom would buy maraschino cherries and we would just snack on them all day when she was cooking. All these different weird foods, like black olives and maraschino cherries. What a weird combo. But oh my gosh, so good.
That is a weird combo. But getting back to the story, though, I will say, Liz, I do agree with you. I did not really care for any of these characters. I thought they just didn't go into any of their history or anything about them. They were just there.
Rana. Was it Rana? That
Yeah, the
kind
toad.
Of, yeah, he definitely wanted to reconnect, but he also, I feel like everybody, there were these like rivalries where they wanted to make sure that the other people were doing worse than them. They never wanted to build each other up. They all just wanted to be better and be doing better and until they were the top. And I think it's Autumn Town that they said that they're like snobs and they were like talking with like saying like duh, dis and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
was like, that's not what I was expecting when you talk about hoity-toity people.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's pretty realistic. If this is real life, I mean, this is real life. That's literally how people are. They want, you could be doing awful, but you just want to make sure the other people are doing worse than you.
Yeah.
That's how you
Same
make
with, like,
yourself feel
towns.
better. You put yourself up by taking other people down. Yeah.
Yeah, literally like any sports team.
Just like that. What a good analogy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But speaking of what's good, at least I thought the gameplay was pretty fun.
Riddle me this. Why?
So I liked it. Okay, so the combat, I agree, is very simplistic, but I enjoyed it because I thought there was quite a bit of diverse of weapons. Usually you kind of stick with your tried and true of some of them. Yes, you're not doing some crazy maneuvers and stuff like that.
No.
But I thought the combat was simple and just, I don't know, I enjoyed it. And like, I enjoyed the different aspects of gameplay that they're adding. I enjoyed when they were adding fishing. I enjoyed when they were adding the building aspects, the planting. I thought it was fun.
Well, I didn't realize that the day didn't end until you went to sleep because I always thought that like I had to complete my like once it really got red and the super monsters came out, I thought that was like, oh man, I need to go to bed. So for me, I felt like I didn't really get to do the things I wanted to do because I was doing the requests and then, like trying to figure things out. And so for me, like Andrew was making fun of me because I had played a lot more days than him and he was further, but I didn't realize I thought that the day ended. So
You're on day
I was
like
going
38
based
or
on that.
40 and you're like halfway through the game.
Yeah, but like I said, like that's how I thought it was, and I was trying to do the requests, and same like I do like the weapons, so like the dowsing rod, but there's some I didn't really use, like the hammer, the parasol I used a little bit,
I like the parasol
sickle
a lot.
because I had to, but for me I felt like I used the same things unless I had to get a material. So for me, like the weapons were just like, because I wasn't really we were upgrading them, but not enough that I really saw a difference. And then same with like the cosmetics. Like if you're going to give me a backpack, let me hold more, What's the point of a backpack if you can't hold more?
All right, Aaron, go ahead.
No, all right.
Let us hear it.
I mean, it's simplistic you even said it. So I don't understand why, like, it gave me new weapons. The weapons don't change all that much. It really does not add any new layer or new dynamic. And then all of a sudden you started talking about fishing, and fishing is not a weapon, so that doesn't count. If you are a fan of old school Zelda, this is right up your alley. This is 100% what it's trying to feel like. So let's just say, fine. It's old school Zelda. You go out there, you swing your sword for 1 or 2 damage unless you upgrade it. Whatever. That's no big deal. But that's not where it really starts to drag, and it really drags, especially at the beginning. It doesn't take until much longer. But the freaking stamina bar allows you to take 2 swings, and then you gotta hold up until you can take some more swings. All right. I understand later on in the game, it adds a layer of some type of dynamic when you're fighting, especially in boss battles and stuff like that, to have a dash and a swing. But I'm sorry, again, that's frustrating to me, and especially at the beginning when you're just trying to move things along. Those little purple rots, or whatever they're called.
Rots.
They take a few hits. Like, it's not like one swing and they're dead. No. Like, you gotta hit it like 6 or 7 times on a cooldown. Very, very obnoxious. It took me a while to figure out really kind of how to upgrade weapons. Upgrading weapons it helped. Obviously, it made it a lot better. But obviously, fishing was the best element of it because I'm always a fan of kind of like in-game mini games and having to press up, down, and left when you're fishing. It's absolutely pointless and stupid, and yet I still end up like, I kind of like doing that.
Especially because you can get it wrong and you still get it.
That's the other thing. I noticed that I liked doing the motions of it, but then I thought about it and I was like, it's not like if I do this, I get something better. I'm still picking up a twig.
The same thing.
And also the Zelda, he holds up his hands just like Zelda when he picks something up. There's a lot of odes to Zelda in here. There's one thing that I picked up on super early in this game that I still can't figure out why. Do you notice that it says like backpack get?
Yeah.
When you get something, it doesn't say like got backpack. It says backpack get.
Yeah.
Why?
There's been numerous old games that did that, and I don't understand. I don't quite know where it originated, but I've noticed it in some other games. Like it is kind of a weird. I'm curious if it was like originally a translation error.
So that was,
and it's just kind of kept on as tradition.
Okay, so this is probably some kind of like inside gamer joke that I wasn't super aware of, but I noticed it right off the bat, and I was like, ooh, somebody messed up there. And I thought, oh, maybe it's a translation. And then later on, you get a weapon, and it said the same thing, like sword, get, or I think at first you get the pick.
Pick.
And it's like, pick, get, or something like that. And I was like, wait, what? They screwed up again? And I realized as I was going on, I kept doing this. And I was like, why does it keep doing that? That was a little bit strange. But again, not completely related to the game. I just thought kind of a strange element of it. And then the Stardew Valley-esque moments of it, the kind of semi-farming, semi-kind of... I don't know. I personally, I hated the task loops every day.
Oh, really? I actually enjoyed them.
I hated the task loops because I felt like I wasn't progressing. Yes, I felt like I wasn't progressing. I felt like I was just doing these tasks for some reason. It was just driving me crazy.
I like the way you say progressing.
What did I say? Progressing?
No, like you were saying progressing. I mean, I say progressing. I've never heard someone say progressing.
Okay,
Did you
I did.
pick it up too?
I didn't know we were.
How do you say it?
Are we gonna
How do you
call
say
me
it?
out for how I
Progressing?
say words?
No, no, because I sometimes say things weird, so I'm wondering if I'm saying it wrong this whole time.
Clearly, you
Almost
are.
every episode.
Clearly, you're
I
saying
think-
this wrong.
Almost every episode, I feel like we're calling out of like some way someone says something.
No, I really was just genuinely curious. I was like, have I been saying it wrong? Andrew calls me out all the time, so that's why I'm genuinely curious. How do you say it, Andrew?
I said progressing.
I would say, all right, progressing is one of those words that I think, depending on how I'm using it in a sentence, I would say progressing or progressing. Like I might delay it. And I think it's just kind of how I'll say. You know how there's some words that are like that? You'll just say them differently. Like, do you say caramel or caramel? I'll say both. It just kind of
Even
depends.
the or the. Some people say like the a lot. Some people say the.
It just kind of depends. Like sometimes I just bust out a caramel. Sometimes I'm a caramel guy. Sometimes I'm a caramel guy. It just doesn't. And the same thing with progressing. I think sometimes I just mess around with that. But thank you for calling out my speech impediment.
But what about the boss fights? Did they at least do anything for you?
No, I mean they're fine. Like at least I was okay that they were there. To me, it gave a genuine, like, what felt like a meaningful piece of progression. And they're okay. And, a good boss battle is, it should be a little bit challenging. And obviously, it having the dodge element adds to those fights and becomes an important part of those fights, where I don't think the dash is nearly important in almost any other part of the game. But in the boss battles, it is.
I don't think I ever used it.
Really?
And I thought some of the boss battles, like the first one, I think I struggled the most. And then after that, they got super easy.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I did like the name of the bookworm in the library. That was one of the bosses I thought was cute. But yeah, I thought the boss fights were very meh. I hated the puzzle dungeon because I just felt like I just like wanted to fight something. I was just like, let me just get through. Because the puzzles were like, Andrew, I didn't even know what I was doing at first.
Well, they all had a bit of a puzzle element to them.
Oh,
but I know which one you're talking about. You're talking about the autumn one, which is the sewer. Yeah.
Yes. But once you told me, I would just automatically do it, but it would still be just irritating that I had to do it. I'm just like, let me just go through the dungeon, you know? But yeah, so for me, I was very mad about them. I didn't even have to dash.
See, I thought the dungeons were, I enjoyed them. I thought like the boss fights were interesting. Like, yes, I agree. I agree what you're saying, Aaron. Like, it doesn't add too many layers to combat. And I do fully agree with you. I hated the stamina bar at the beginning. They start you off, with 2 stamina, and every enemy takes usually about 3 or 4 hits. Mm-hmm. And so it is frustrating, and it starts so slow.
And then the little guy after, yeah.
And that's why I hated it. I didn't like this game at the beginning either. But the more I played it, the more I thought it was fun. I enjoyed the task loops. I do agree. I don't feel like I'm progressing that much. You're kind of leveling up the town every time you're doing the daily tasks, which, as you're doing that, they unlock more stuff. You can upgrade your weapons. Like, it does add more progression to it. But this game does do something that is kind of annoying that I've complained about with a lot of RPGs, is specifically whenever you're doing the blue tasks, once you level that up, the rot in the area get more difficult. So it is kind of like the progress you are making and the weapons you're getting that are stronger kind of defeat the purpose. You do get stronger more than the rot. Like, I noticed, like, I had more stamina. I could still take a group of them out without having a cooldown at all, but it was just kind of annoying where it's like, any big progression you're doing kind of gets set back a little bit.
But with the stamina, like, I feel like it went from 0 to 100, where I was like you guys, where I was like, this is really annoying that I only have 2 swings. But once you showed me that when you're picking, like, the picture, you can have so much stamina. Like, I'm in Autumn Town, and, like, I don't even need that much.
You have, like, 20 stamina. You've taken all the stamina perks.
Yeah, so for me, it's like, it's same with my health bar. It's like, so for me, it's like, it goes from really annoying to, it kind of makes the game a little bit too easy.
Yeah, and I mean, I do want to take a note here, Andrew. You've spent way more time agreeing with me than disagreeing with me on this. So I think it's a little bit funny and a little bit suspect that you gave this a game when I gave it a hard pass. But I digress here. Yes, I agree. That progression should feel like progression. So if I'm going to get stronger, I should be feeling stronger in a game. By constantly matching enemies to constantly match me where I'm at is frustrating. I think maybe that should be gradual, that maybe things should be easy. You hit a wall, then they're easy. You hit a wall, then they're easy. There's probably a way to make sure you still feel like those gains are meaningful and they show up. And I agree, this game, the only thing that truly changes is the stamina. You're right. You're totally right. If you get your stamina way up, stamina is not even something you think about, because you can absolutely run through this and run through a lot of fights there, and it regains faster than you're losing it. So, sure. But that's why I even go back and say, like, the weapons don't even... Like, I wouldn't say any of the weapons were totally crazy. They're just fine.
I wanted to ask, so when you go back to other areas, is it still like all the enemies are harder? Because that would be another way to kind of show your strength as well, because there's a lot of back and forth. So like there's someone at the beach that needs, I think it's called pith root or something.
Yep.
And so you obviously have to go back there. So when you go back, are the enemies weaker, or is it, like you said earlier, across the board?
I didn't notice me rolling the enemies. Like there was still, I don't know, I felt like they were the same difficulty as before. So that's why I do agree with Aaron of, I didn't notice anything crazy. I wasn't one hit every enemy kind of thing, but I could still take them out with no problem. It was just it was just like, I don't know, I could still take them out, just no issue.
I also want to point out too, because you were making fun of me earlier because I didn't realize that the days didn't end, and how I was really like spending way too many days with the game. I found something that you didn't.
What?
So that hidden frog statue.
Oh, I found
pictures. Yeah, because I told you.
No, you just told me.
No, you looked at my screen and I don't have that one. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's in the forest, and like if you go up, there's like a hidden passage.
No, you just said he's in the spring area.
No, I did not. I told you exactly where he was. And you can't even graciously admit that I helped you.
Thank you.
But yeah, I just wanted to point that out, that you needed my help for something.
But I will say, so the progression I felt, like this game has a bit of like Metroidvania elements to it with the fishing and then the gardening, because yeah, when you start into the spring area, you know, all you can really do is just harvest minerals, basically mine wood and stone. But then you get the fishing rod, you go back to it, then you can do a whole bunch of fishing. And then eventually you get the planting, and then you can do a whole bunch of planting. So I felt like there was a bit of Metroidvania elements of going back to certain areas that you've been to, but now you have these other mechanics to kind of help improve things.
But do you really want to spend that much time doing the same tasks in the same place? Like
for
me,
what?
It's like,
for what gain? That's also going back and doing the same things you were doing before.
Upgrading your weapons.
Yes, but it's not. It just is not a significant move enough to make it even all that worth it.
and the planting, I feel like, isn't very fun. Where you just like, there's like this one area that you hit, you put a seed down.
Are you changing yours to a pass now, Liz? I feel like you've gotten more negative for this
No,
game.
You have too, Andrew.
No, I've agreed with you, but like, where some I'm like, yeah, you know, that's not a great element. You're like, this is the worst. Like yours is like a 10 of hate. For me, I'm like, it's like a 2 annoyance. Like,
I do find it weird, like how much you like this game.
I found the story actually engaging. I want to know what happened in the end.
So I want to ask you, but it's a spoiler. Can you give me like a non-spoiler like thing that happens that's exciting?
Well, I could cut it out.
I actually don't. That's a more nuanced ending than I expected. So it gets a little bit of props on that. That's a little bit more nuanced than just like defeat the rot.
Now he's positive and I'm negative. I just find it funny that it turned that like now like I'm the one that's like, oh, that ending sucks.
Well, because if you play out this in kids movies, or if you play this out in other video games with this similar type of story where there's only a few guardians left, you gotta save us from this whatever gobbledygook is attacking us, whatever it is, because that's done 1,000 times. It ends with you defeating the villains and everybody lives happily ever after. That's the ending. So what you're saying is that this ending is more than that. It's got actually a thought out process of like, no, there's something else happening there. I don't want to, if you're saving any of this, I don't want to spoil
But
that.
I mean, why wouldn't you want the happy ending? Like if you look at the world.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Liz does not like a game.
If you look at the world and all the crap that happens that you have to deal with day to day, wouldn't you want happiness in an ending with movies, TV shows, books? There's so much evil and sadness in the world. Give me a good flipping ending. Like, I don't have time for that nonsense.
You know
like,
what?
for me, it's like, yeah, it's really easy to come up with evil, morbid, sick, twisted things. Like you see in like all kinds of movies and stuff. It's so easy. But to come up with like a really intricate, like thought-provoking good ending, it's like, oh no, it's a good ending. It means it sucks. Like, no.
I look at it more this way. It's an acceptance of one's humanity. That for good to exist in this world, evil has to exist as well. And those two things...
No, they could be all good.
No, it's impossible. Good doesn't exist if evil doesn't exist. It's a paradox. You have to have evil for good to exist. If good is the only thing that exists, then it's not actually good anymore. It's a paradox. You have to have
light
this.
without darkness.
So,
Okay, can we be 99% good? Like, you know?
So I think ultimately that ending is kind of accepting of your humanity and understanding that living forever or living in complete peace and prosperity is actually worse.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, actually.
Well,
Look at this, Aaron.
I mean,
The garden
these
story is
people-
beautiful.
Oh my gosh. No, but these people don't deserve prosperity.
Okay.
Okay, like first of all, like let's be honest. Like once the guardian that's helping them either leaves or dies, they're done for. Like they don't want to work for themselves. They don't want you. If you're not going to work, you're not going to reap the benefits.
Those stupid
So for me,
fruits.
it's like I don't even understand. I don't understand like with this game, like what happens when like if everything's all right in the end, they're just going to go back to their old habits because they never learned right versus wrong. They never learned, that they need to look after themselves. And so what's that saying? Like if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day, but if you teach him how to fish, these people aren't going to be fishing after. They just want him to give them the fish.
It's a good
Oh,
point.
that ending got me sassy. No. One more thing with gameplay. I love that when you run, your face like squeezes up, like you're really straining. Did you guys notice that?
I don't think I've
So
noticed
I had
that.
really high. Yeah, like you like scrunch up your face, like you're straining, and
And
just
you're like,
start
oh,
running.
grape, I feel you. I feel you, grape.
But it's like you have this like I feel like the character is really cute, and he's always got a smile on his face no matter what. And
Oh, your character's adorable. So I like this game has cosmetics as well, which, well, I like and don't like because I feel like, yeah, so you do earn money in this game and there isn't enough things to buy. So they're like, well, we got to throw things for you to buy things. Here's cosmetics. I will say that the cosmetics are actually kind of adorable.
and you can buy rocks too. They were that desperate. They're like, you want to buy a rock?
Don't get me wrong. I don't think anybody here is saying this game isn't adorable. This game is obviously adorable. I mean, you're a grape named Concord. I mean, that's just precious, okay? And you got a good friend named Maraschino. I mean, this is
The elder's called elderberry.
yes, elderberry. Like that is just come on now. That's great. But no, I did not know that he scrunched his face together. That's I guess kind of cool.
I like Liz noticed it though.
Yeah, because you told me, oh, you can run, right? And I'm like, yeah, Andrew, I know. And then I started running. I would run every once in a while, but I never thought to do it like when I'm like running around town, just like when I'm running away from enemies. I'm like, oh yeah, I can just make this go faster.
That's why you're on day like 40. Yeah, for the game.
You didn't tell it to me today.
But yeah, I think art style wise, I think this game is really awesome. The towns, like, I like that the towns are split into seasons as well. You start in spring, then next you go to Summer Bar. Then after that, you go to Autumn Falls or Autumn
Town.
Autumn Town, and then Winter Glade. So I like that it kind of progresses through these seasons.
It also made me like want to be like for me, it's like with like Winter Glade, it's just like I want to be in the woods and there's like a little bit of snow. Like I was feeling that vibe for every season. So for me, like I think they did a good job. I was a little sparse. I feel like just like a little bit, which I don't think I didn't get to Winter Glade.
No, I'm like right about to enter it.
Yeah, I'm at Autumn Town. But yeah, so I did like that they had a different vibe for each area.
Yeah,
Season.
graphic wise, I thought this looked great. Yeah, Yeah, okay, I'll say it looks great. For an indie developer, this looks like it was not hand-drawn, but not that far off. The towns were really detailed looking, so that could have looked a whole lot more boring. But it looked like they actually put some attention and care into that look. Again, not to reference back to it, but I think a semi-similar art style to Stardew Valley. So if you like the look of that game, I would say that this kind of falls into a little bit of a similar category to that. Maybe a little bit more pastel colored, or like watercolored more.
Well, Stardew is a lot more pixelated. This isn't that pixelated.
I guess that's a good point. This I wouldn't say is pixelated. I would say this is definitely more of an art style, but
I wish... Oh, sorry.
no, you're good.
I wish that they had kind of highlighted a bit more where the entrances and exits were,
that
especially
was
in
my
Autumn
complaint.
Town, because they highlighted a lot. Like, you knew where to fish. There's some things, like, I think, like, the pith roots or something. There was something that sparkled that you needed to get. But there were some times where I was like, I'm trying to find my way back to my house, and I'm, like, especially in Autumn Town, it's really bad, I feel like.
My issue was in Summer Bar. I had a hard time figuring out what were ramps and what weren't.
Oh, yeah, a little bit, yeah. And sometimes you would just, like, plop down and be like, oh, yeah. I didn't
Oh, that was
realize
a ledge
yeah.
I can jump down, apparently.
Yeah. So for me, like, that's something that I think that they could have done a little bit better.
But like you said, I at least thought the characters were adorable. I love that they went, generally with the fruit and vegetable names for everyone. Not always the case for everyone. But I do think it's odd that they went for fruit and vegetables, but then you also have these frog people, which I thought was kind of weird. But
What's Woody?
I'm guessing like there's a type of fish called a wood skipper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
So I'm
probably...
assuming that's what he is.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know if it was a tadpole or something like that, but...
I thought he was a fish, which is also odd. Why is literally he the only fish?
Yeah, the frog thing kind of threw me off a little bit, because very early on I was like, oh, okay, this is just fruit-based. And then all of a sudden there's a frog involved in this, and I was like, all right, so maybe it's got a little bit of everything. But no, pretty much consistently outside of a few frogs and I guess a fish, it's still a lot of fruit and some vegetables.
There was vegetables. Yeah.
Yeah, which ones? Like, I can't
there was
think of them.
mushrooms. There was a turnip was the guard at Autumn Town. But what about music? Did music do anything for you?
No.
I think I liked it. I think if I remember, I think like the music and sound effects and stuff, I think it fit the game. But for the life of me, I can't remember it.
I will say it is pretty forgettable. It's very relaxing music, but yeah, this is definitely a game you don't need a headset for, since nothing is voice acted. Like, do you think you would have cared about the story more, Aaron, if it was voice acted?
It's great that you say that, because about halfway through my playtime, that's exactly what I thought. I realized reading this pointless text. Nothing of what anybody was saying was super interesting, or maybe go, okay, give me a little bit more of that. Like you mentioned, the characters are all pretty. I'm not being cute here, but they're two-dimensional. There's really no backstory to them. There's very little direction for them. There's very little end game or goals for them. So it's a whole lot of eh. But yeah, if this was voice acted, I would at least be a little bit more engaged in those conversations. Sure.
Some are too long. I definitely.
Oh,
there
yeah.
are some that even I was like clicking through, like just like reading it as fast as I could, and it was just like paragraphs. I'm like, this is a bit unnecessary. But I also want to say, like, at the beginning, the intro music, the first time I booted it up, the first day that I played it out, I was a little cranky, and I left it on like for a second when I went to the room, and I'm just like, that needs to shut up. And I was like, oh, Liz, you're feisty today. And then I was like, and then I realized that, and I was like, okay, let's start over. But yeah, so I definitely wouldn't play it when I was cranky.
See, I don't know. I do agree. I think voice acting would be better. I didn't think the texts were too long, because there isn't too much text going on. You're not going through these, like, you're not getting a cutscene like every other day. Like, for the most part, the actual talking dialogue segments were pretty far and few between. You could talk to random citizens, but they did not have anything interesting to say at all. So you didn't have to waste your time with it. But one thing, I did remember another thing that actually did annoy me. this kind of goes into also for playing this game with xCloud. I don't think I recommend it. So this game only saves when you sleep for the day. Mm-hmm. So you could be going through a day, going through text and dialogue. And as Liz said, the day does not end until you sleep. So you could keep playing, and the after dark, when it's dark out, enemies are harder, but you can still keep going and playing. And the game only saves if you sleep. Now, with that same token, though, you also can't go to bed early, that's really annoying to me. Like, because there was a couple times where I'm like, oh, I did my daily tasks. I'll just go to bed and just get more tasks tomorrow and just kind of finish it. No, your character's not sleepy enough. And it's just like this is how I save. You're literally telling me I can't save then. So that was kind of annoying. You can sit on a bench and it speeds up time, but it's just,
well,
just let me
especially
sleep.
at the beginning when you can only have a certain amount of items that you pick up. I think it's like 15. You can expand it later on. But if you have that maxed out and you did your requests and stuff, it's like, yeah, you want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you can't.
I agree.
You're not tired enough. And it's just,
yeah.
that was a poor design. So if you're playing on xCloud, like, it's not a good idea of like, hey, you need to stop playing this game now. And it's like, well, I can't save, or there you go. You just lost your day.
Interesting. It sounds like Andrew's adding more and more to the negative list here. He just keeps finding new reasons.
You convinced me to bring my score down a little bit. To me, this is still a game, though. Okay?
I was just going to ask that.
I will say, my score is a little bit lower. You do make some good points, but this still is a game to me. I still enjoyed my time with Garden Story.
But I bet that you like the achievements.
Yeah, the achievements are very solid in this game. I would say overall, this is a achievement hunter game.
So I got 310 with 7 out of 21, and I forgot to look how many hours I put into it. But that's not bad. But I also didn't see them popping up, and I don't know why. Maybe something with my Xbox or something. But I like in a game when I'm actually getting them. I think only like 2 came up that I saw, so that kind of keeps me going more as well. If a game like has like achievements popping up every once in a while.
I think I was at 450, and I have 8 hours of gameplay. For time to beat, you're looking between 10 to 15 hours, so it's not a terribly long game. And all the achievements are very obtainable. I don't think any of them are missable. You just get a lot of them just from story progression. There's a handful of killing X amount of acorn enemies, X amount of big gloop enemies. So, like, to me, I think this is a decent achievement hunter game.
Yeah, I'm a bad person to ask on that front. I don't think I've ever. I mean, maybe when you and I first had an Xbox and achievements first came out, I think it's the only time I ever kind of cared about achievements. I think I've always cared about them. I couldn't even. I couldn't even tell you what my gamer score is right now. Like, I have no clue. And there's probably multiple games. Like, I'm probably the best and worst type of person you can have on this podcast because, in one sense, I can be blunt and absolutely destroy this game. But in another sense, I don't play a lot outside of like Call of Duty and Battlefield. Like, those are just the things I want to do when I'm sitting around at night. So I have no clue what my gamer score is in this. I don't think I ever pulled up the gamer score to see what was on there, what I should be doing. Because it's just the least that I'm concerned about.
I feel like you're like the exact equivalent of Keith.
Oh, him with his roguelikes?
Yeah.
Keith only wants to play roguelikes. So.
Yeah, but you know what this is? And I just this game in general, and Andrew, you mentioned it at the very beginning of this. You said that this has a really, at least, good reviews or probably somewhat of a big following on Nintendo Switch. Within the first 15 minutes of me playing this game, I said this game was made for Nintendo Switch. This game was made to be played on just a handheld device for simplicity's sake. Because that's what this thing is. And I could see myself enjoying this a whole lot more if I was just laying in bed with a Switch in my hand, just playing through this game a bit. It did not connect with me in that same sense. This was no Battlefield for me.
See, I saw the trailer for this, and I actually brought it up to Andrew because Andrew and I were moving this week, and we needed something really easy and something that, we probably couldn't put a lot of hours into this week, but we still wanted to put an episode out there. And so I saw this, and I showed it to Andrew, and he'd already seen it. I was like, maybe we should do this. I thought I was going to like it more because I like so many different genres in video games. But I like Stardew Valley. I like stuff like that. So for me, I thought I would like it more.
I thought it was going to be like Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
I just thought looking at the trailer, I just thought there'd be more to it, I guess.
Yeah. What age group do you think you'd recommend this game for? Like, do you think this was more geared for younger audience?
No. Yes and no. I think this is probably geared. Man, you know what's weird is it's kind of like I mentioned. There's so many nods to Zelda in this game that it clearly wants people that like the original Zeldas to go back and play this, but it's almost too cutesy to feel like it would connect with anybody in that demographic. So it's really strange. I actually don't know where I would put this.
Mark, what do you think, Andrew?
I could see young teens. I feel like this would connect pretty well.
Oh, because you could dab? Because you could do floss? No, you couldn't.
You got some sweet dances.
You could do the floss
I missed
emotes.
something.
Like, wait, what? I missed this mechanic.
How do you dab? She's
I
scouring
have
back there, hitting
never
every
once
button.
tried to dab or floss.
Well-
I don't need to embarrass myself.
Well, I hear it's a thing the teens love. So I've played the Fortnites before, and on that game you can do that stuff. So I'm assuming you can do that in this game if the teens like it.
Yeah, so Andrew, you just looked up Metacritic for Switch, which is 73 and 7.5. It's still TBD on Xbox. I know I'm getting ahead, but I'm kind of surprised because you said there was like a cult following, right?
Yeah, I heard this was
low.
a pretty popular game on the Switch. But let's get into our final thoughts here. Aaron, why don't you tell the people?
I'm really excited about yours.
You wrap up.
Listen, I've already blasted this game, and I just want to be clear again. This is a game that's not for me. And you've probably heard us describe some elements to this game that you said, "Hey, that's right up my alley." I love Zelda. I love simplistic, but it's got semi deeper elements to it. Like there are other things to do rather than just hacking and slashing. There's obviously more to it than that. So, maybe that's going to appeal to you. Maybe you're somebody who just wants something that's a little bit more relaxed and chilled. Maybe you don't like playing a game that's super fast paced, that you die a lot in, and it's just, that's not enjoyable for you. You want something that's just cute to look at, easy to sit back and play, and truly its frustrating elements aren't like destroying it. Like I said, I could tell when I played it, I knew this wasn't for me, but I knew that this was probably for somebody else. So this is for somebody out there. It's just, in my opinion, this is made for a handheld. This is made for Switch. This looks like it is tailor-made for Nintendo Switch. In fact, so my kids, I've got for anyone that's listening, I've got a 4-year-old and I've got a 9-year-old. And so I downloaded a bunch of games on their Xbox, and we were playing the Pixar Rush game. And I was playing it the other day and I thought, man, this feels really weird. Why does this feel so weird? And I totally forgot. This was what was the name of that thing? The AR system on it. What did they use?
What thing?
What did they used to sell with the Xbox One? The camera.
Oh, the Kinect?
The Kinect. I forgot that was a Kinect game. So what they had
what?
to do is they had to convert it to controller, but it was a Kinect game initially. So it didn't feel right on a controller. That's kind of what this game felt like to me. It felt like when I was playing it, I shouldn't be playing this on an Xbox. And maybe that's just me in kind of a closed off, I only play a certain segment of games most of the time. But it's a totally fine game that somebody's going to like out there, unless you like good games. Just kidding.
Do you want to give it a score?
I'm gonna give it a 5.6 because again, if I'm going
Out of 10?
out of 10, what do you normally scale things on here?
Out of 100.
So 56.
So 56. So I'm gonna give it a 56. And again, the reason why I'm going to do that is because to me, if I'm going to say it's not for me, but it could be for somebody, I got to be as close to the middle as possible. I think a 56 is fair.
You did remind me of a question I wanted to ask. Did you guys die at all?
Yes. Yeah, I took
No.
some of your coins, which I actually tried to switch it to you can't die because it was taking my money.
there's a you can't die mode?
No, it wouldn't let me switch to it.
Why? What would it say?
I don't know if it's because it was mid-game or maybe I read it wrong. It's like I thought it said that it was a no die mode, but it wouldn't let me switch. Like I went back into it and it showed like it was a race. It wouldn't let me do it. So, but like I said, I could have read it wrong, but I thought that's what it meant.
So, Aaron, you convinced me.
Woo!
I'm taking a couple points off this game. This is still a game for me. I still had a ton of fun with it. You know, I understand where you're coming from, the things you didn't like about it. Yes, some of the combat is tedious. I still enjoyed. I thought the story to me was actually more engaging than I thought it was going to be. I do agree. I think the beginning is very slow, but I felt like the more I kept playing it, the more I was enjoying it. And I love that this game kind of kept dripping new mechanics. And so, you know, I was having fun. I think this game is great for a younger audience. You know, it is adorable, but you know, I thought the weapons were fun. You know, the boss fights were interesting. The dungeons. I wish there was more dungeons. I will say that.
Yeah.
You know, but
you
only got one in each town.
Instead of daily tasks, give me more dungeons.
Yeah. But I mean, overall though, I thought it was a solid experience. You know, it's relaxing. It is very simple. So that's one thing that was nice. This wasn't something that was infuriating or frustrating. I think I died once because I screwed up. I got stuck in a corner or something like that. It was kind of a dumb move. But yeah, it's not really punishing when you die. So yeah, it was a relaxing time for me. I'll give it an 80.
So I'm going to give it a 75. I was talked down as well. I originally went in thinking
Wow, way to go, Aaron.
I originally went in maybe thinking 80. And then
I love that I am the guest and I just totally destroyed your guys' stance. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm not Keith. I'm not just going to be a pushover here. I'm coming in with fire.
But yeah, so for me, like I originally was coming in thinking maybe around 80 because I thought it was kind of slow. And then you gave it an 80 and you definitely liked it way more than I did. But I think 75 is a good average score. I already did Metacritic, which was 73 and 7.5 on Switch. But
yeah. So I think that's going to do it for us. Thank you all so much for joining us for Garden Story. Thank you, Aaron. Please tell everyone, where can they find you?
I am the co-host of the Real Movie Talk podcast. That's REEL. It is far less successful than this one, and we've been doing it for far longer. But if you also enjoy movies and you like movie news, go ahead and check us out. We release every Friday.
Wait, so can you tell us a movie that everyone should watch?
Yes, everything. What?
I was just going to say, so they know what kind of movies that you like, you know?
Oh, my gosh. Well, see, my co-host, Chaz, we're both two different guys, so we kind of come at movies. We're similar, but we also come at movies from a different approach. So we've both kind of got a different mindset. Andrew and I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's probably still my favorite movie of the year so far.
That movie was fantastic.
I did not like the last Thor film. If you listen to our last episode, you'll hear us blast that one a little bit because we were both not fans of that movie at all. I'm looking forward to seeing Nope. Nope is coming out. So hopefully we can talk a little bit about that movie. So I'm very excited and have high hopes for that one as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us.
Thanks
if you
for
have
having
any
me.
game suggestions, please email us at gamepassgraphic@gmail.com. We're at Facebook at GBGBpod and Twitter GBGBpod. Do you have any social medias, Aaron, that you want to plug for your Real Movie Talk?
Just the Instagram. I fired that bad boy back up again. So it's just Real Movie Talk Pod. We also have a Facebook. I'm too old for Twitter, and this is probably why we don't get the same type of traffic because we do very little advertising on that front. But again, we've been doing it since 2017. But we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and that's about it.
And I'm Liz Noob, gamertag CommonOmD, and I'm on Twitter at Liz Noob. Noob is EW.
Thank you all for joining us. We love you all. We'll see you again next week.
See ya.
Bye, guys.